Hello there everyone, welcome to another game of World of Tanks console with me, Wombo Leader, and you join us on Kasserine Pass here in Africa. We are in a Tier 8 Polish heavy tank, the 53 TP, and we are in a Tier 10 matchup, but all said and done, not quite the worst Tier 10 matchup you're ever going to see. A little bit of an unusual lineup there to the teams, 5 Tier 10s, 1 Tier 9, and 9 Tier 8s, so definitely could be worse, but could definitely be better as well. So this tank here, Tier 8 Polish Heavy, this was a tank that I was not really looking forward to playing, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. Now, the Tier 7 was pretty good, I quite enjoyed the Tier 7. The Tier 6, which is a medium on this line, was maybe one of the worst Tier 6s I've ever played. But I must admit, I was really playing this line because I really wanted to get to that Tier 9 and that Tier 10. That 60 TP looked particularly appetising. And yeah, looking at this tank, there was just nothing about it that really kind of drew me to it. Really kind of made me think that I wanted to play it, because it seems fairly standard kind of Eastern European heavy tank, albeit maybe with not quite the same trollish armour as something like a Defender or an IS-3. But this tank has actually turned out to surprise me a lot. It's actually really quite nice to play, and I tended to find myself doing pretty well in it. The armour works. The hull armour's terrible, but it still seems to bounce enough rounds to not be completely garbage. The turret armour is decent, and I guess the sort of unique selling point of this tank is when you get the top gun on it, it's got 420 alpha. However, as you'll probably see from this game, it very rarely kind of rolls anywhere near that score. Certainly in this game, there's a lot of rounds that go in, because we do pretty well on this one, spoiler alert, but you'll see from the alpha damage that we do in a lot of the rounds, it doesn't tend to hit for that 420 or above very often. So we get our first shot off there in towards the Type 59 too, but it was a swing and a miss. I think I fired anyway. It's a long while since I actually played this game. I've now completed the game, I've now got the Tier 9 in the garage, albeit I haven't played it. We get my first damage there on the IS-3 into the side, 402 damage, which is 18 below what the gun is advertised as. We get the second round in there at 405, so always nice to start the game off with a little bit of damage. Can we get one into the turtle? Oh, I thought that was quite a well aimed shot. The turtle just turns away at the last millisecond to avoid that round going into their light tank. So 8.5 second reload once we have got the equipment and a decent commander on this, which is not too bad given that 420 alpha. Damage per minute is around about 2,700 with the equipment and the build and the commander skills that I've got on this one. We do get a shot into the turtle there, taking us up to 1,169 damage. Yeah, all in all, a pretty solid tank all round. You get 8 degrees of gun depression. The armour occasionally works against Tier 8s. It's not going to do too much against Tier 9s and Tier 10s, but that tends to be the case for most Tier 8 heavies in the game. But yeah, a tank that surprised me just how often we were able to pull out some pretty decent games in it. I just thought it was going to be run of the mill, there's nothing special about it, and just one of these tanks you wanted to play through to get to the Tier 9. But I have thoroughly enjoyed my experience of the 53 TP. So let's get back to how this game is going. We're just kind of playing this position here. We've got some early damage in, which is always very nice. And we are up by 3 tanks there as the AMX M454 takes out the enemy team's machine. So things are looking pretty good for us in this one. There is the enemy team's M451, and that's maybe one of the worst shots you'll see from somebody in World of Tanks. That was nowhere near where it needed to be. We've got a Guerrilla 15 up here. Can we get a shot onto the Guerrilla 15? No, poking too much of our tank up there is not going to be very wise when we are spotted. The Guerrilla 15 is still going to be in our sights. Oh, they're just the top of them there. We're not going to get the shot through there. Can we get them through the gap as they come through? Yes, we can. 377 though, folks. That is not what you expect from a 420 alpha gun, but that was a very nice shot indeed. T59 seems to have no idea that we are here. We put one into the lower plate. 381. You can see what I mean about this gun. Meant to have 420 alpha. It just does not. We've not had a high roll so far. 371. Yeah, that's shots in a row in like the 370s and the 380s. You know, we're 50 below our 50 below what the gun is supposed to do on average, and we have not had one shot in this game that has came close to that 420. Or correct me if I'm wrong. But we're racking the damage up to 2,300 now. A little bit of spot, and we get the kill shot into the Type 59, who I guess was in between the proverbial rock and the hard place. We're maintaining a 4 tank lead here, up to a 5 tank lead now. At this point in the battle, you're kind of thinking, well, this should be it. Hard to lose it from here, but this is World of Tanks, and I have seen many a team lose from this position. Because what often happens in this kind of case is that you get a little bit blasé about the game, you get a little bit kind of careless because you think the game's over and you just want to get forward. And quite often what you'll see in these situations is the team that is winning will can we get a shot into the UDES there. Oh, I think we missed the UDES and hit the TVP. 392 though, again. Let me know if you see us hit a round for 420 or above. But yeah, very often what happens in these situations is the team that's winning gets kind of complacent, and then they kind of charge forward into the remaining enemy guns and they get picked off one by one. People just want to try and get whatever damage is out there. And so yeah, they always think about that in World of Tanks. The battle is not won at this stage. It's very easy to, you know, for your teammates and for yourself to just push forward too complacently and lose their hit points. I've seen it happen all too often in this game. So we are going to go forwards here. I can see, looking at the mini map, I can see we have tanks advancing on both flanks, and our light tank is in there distracting the remaining enemy tanks in that position. They have just been taken out, but it does allow us to move forward down the middle of the map, out in the open, albeit in relative safety. There's only 5 enemy real tanks and 2 little piggies to take out, but as I said, this one is certainly not over at this point, because the enemy team will kind of dig in at this point and they will basically let our team come onto their guns, and if people are not careful, their hit points will disappear. Now only 3 tanks between the two teams, but the AMX is taken out by the Roswell there to restore that 4 tank gap. So we come down into the enemy team's base area. We have a medium off to our right, but we don't seem to notice it at the time. We do notice it now. We're going to reverse back here. Are we going to get a shot? I think it's probably that TVP that's still about. Yeah, I think we got the lucky shot into them when we're aiming at the UDES. Can we get a little bit more damage in this one? It's been a pretty decent game already. There's the TVP there. We will get the kill shot into them, unfortunately. Only the kill shot for, I don't know, is that 73 damage or something along those lines. Much rather have had the 420 damage if the gun will ever hit for that kind of score. You know, we've had plenty of shots into enemy tanks at this point, but no point have we actually managed to achieve our average alpha damage. Will that remain the same for the rest of the game? There's the UDES, it's fell back there. We're going to get one into them. And 409 again. I'm going to have to check that I've maybe, you know, do I actually have the top gun on this tank at this point? That's what I'm thinking. Artillery trying to aim for us there, but we're going to be in beside these rocks, so it's going to be pretty hard for them to get that shot. But you can see now we're down to 7 versus 5. You can see it just isn't over until it's over. This is still now a very winnable position for the enemy team, and we've got a grill that's got us kind of locked in this position, because a grill is not something you want to be messing about with in this tank, and a grill's not really something you want to mess about in too many tanks, because the grill will pretty much pen everything it comes up across. So we've got a heavy and a light tank doing a little bit of a dance in the town there, and now we're down to 6 versus 4 as the light tank takes out that heavy tank, the E75 being removed by the artillery in the end, not the actual light tank. And we're kind of locked down here. Now we do have the hit points to take a shot from the grill if we have to, but it just makes us so very vulnerable to everything else. So just be careful here, not trying to be too complacent, not thinking this battle is won at this point. But we managed to get across the gap here. The grill has relocated, so that allows us to get up into this position. If we can take this light tank out, it should pretty much be game 1. One of the artilleries goes down on the enemy team. Oh, we fluffed the first shot into the turtle there. The grill's down in the valley, so we don't need to worry about them. Really want to get this light tank removed from the battle. Are they going to be just up over here? Are we going to get a shot on? The artillery takes a swing and a miss. There's a turtle there. We can't miss this one, can we? No, we cannot. We get the kill on the enemy light tank. They're just down to an artillery and the grill. The grill goes down now to the Roswell. And all that's left to be done in this one is to find the Sky Cancer and take it out. So we've seen where the shell came from earlier on. I know he's down just to our left hand side there behind those rocks. He's probably going to be facing down the valley, so we're going to go up behind him. Hopefully we get the back of the artillery, and we've got enough hit points to easily take a shot from the artillery anyway, so not too much to worry about. But try to get into position. We should be first to spot them. We do. There we are. It's the back of them. A T92, 413. We'll go for a ram. We'll do another 218 and 37. Do we get the kill shot? No. The artillery takes it out with the GWE100, but at least we get the assistance through the tracking damage. So that is the Polish Tier 8 Heavy, the 53 TP. A surprisingly good tank, folks. Do not miss out on this one. I'm sure you will enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching, folks, and I shall catch you on the next one. Goodbye now.